Hello, good morning everybody. Thank you for coming to join me today. Before I do the next kind of tutorial that I wanted to do, or craft with me rather, that I want to do with you, I just wanted to show you what I'd made following my last video. So if you remember, it was a fold out with a picture on the front. So using book pages, and it had some extra journaling space in there. So that's what I made. I think that's the one that I showed you, and then I made a couple on screen but didn't complete them. So I just wanted to show you what I'd done. So the first was the one with the bird on, and then as a change for this one, I've done a side pocket. So that one's got a side pocket and then some extra papers just there. So I just wanted to show you that they can be slightly different. This one with the beautiful owl on, I think that's one of Mrs. Cogg's owls. That opens out, and that again has the pocket just there and some extra papers there on the side. And then this one was the same. It's got the owl on, opens up, and it's got the papers on the inside. So I just wanted to show that you can have different styles. You can finish them off differently. For this video, this is actually my attempt 2. I've just done a video where I made this, because I'd had a couple of people ask me in the last video that I did of the journal I'd completed. I'd made a couple of these, one to go in each journal. So it's like an extra journaling space. Not my idea, but I can't remember where I first saw it. So apologies for that. So there's tuck spot there, there's a pocket there, and there's a double pocket here. And then there's just some journaling papers in there. And it just folds up, wraps around and tucks in. And a couple of people have asked me how I made it, so I thought I would come on and show you. Did the video, showed how I'd made this, stitched it in and everything, and then my camera had stopped working, so it actually didn't record it. So I'll give it another try, so bear with me. So this is one that I've just made. So again, it's got the side pocket there, it's got a single pocket there, and it's got double pockets there. It folds over, tucks in, and then you'd put a tie around it. They're not difficult to make, so I'll give it a go. So what I do is a piece of A4 paper. I'm using digital from Rachel Rox's Creations. This is one of her kit pages. It's full A4. But I've cut this down to be 7 inches. So it's 7 inches tall and the width of the A4 paper. Okay. And what I've done is I've done this one the opposite way around for this from this one, because I wanted the owl to be fully on the inside. So what I've done is I've folded the flap over, and I'll give you a measurement, but mine turn out differently. So that's approximately a 2-inch fold to become the flap, and then I've just cut the corners of it. The inside bit that is going to be this, oh sorry, you can't see me, can you? Silly me. So that's the flap. The inside part here that's going to have the pocket is going to be this fold here, and on this one I've folded that just over 2 1/4, but I've done that purposely because I wanted to get the owl on it. So you could make that smaller if you wanted to. And then the final fold to make it into the little booklet is where your flap folds down. Don't fold it all the way to that crease, leave a little gap and just fold it so that you end up with 1, 2, 3 folds. 1, 2, 3. Can be different sizes. I think that one's a slightly different, probably about the same actually. I find when I make these that they do turn out roughly the same. So this one, again, is from an A4 piece of paper. I've cut it down to 7 inches. You can have it as tall or as short as you want it. You could make it a much smaller booklet if you wanted to. But I like the size of this because it's a good size to put in your handbag, or it fits nicely in one of the pockets at the front of your journal. So that's just the size that I'm doing. This one, I've folded the flap on the opposite side to this one. So I've folded in the flap, and I don't know, let's measure this one. So that's just over, it's not quite 1 3/4. So it's a smaller flap than this one. This is a bigger flap, but it's probably about the same size as that one. Yeah, it's about 1 3/4. So the flap gets folded over, you cut the 2 corners, you fold in a little way, and again I think I folded this more because I wanted the kingfisher. So yeah, can you see that's about 1/4 of an inch bigger, but it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to save that on there. And then again, the third fold goes not all the way up to the crease. So you've got 1, 2, 3. Okay. What I tend to do, because this is the crease where you're going to sew your signature in. So I've usually got bits of fabric, and I have. So what I would do on that crease is I would want to put some fabric down there, because that is where you're going to fold it with your papers in. You're going to stitch your papers into there. So what I tend to do on that is, it's hard to see the crease on these papers. So I'd put some glue, I hope I'm in screen, glue down the crease, put my fabric on, whatever glue you use is, it's fine. I never get that quite central, but it doesn't worry me. I'm going to add some more glue on there just to make sure it's stuck on. Turn it round. You can be more precise if you want it to be exact in the middle. Measure your fabrics. You don't have to reinforce this because it's not going to get an awful lot of wear, but I like the look of it as well, and it just makes the paper doesn't tear when I sew in the little signature. Then I'm just going to trim that off, top and bottom. I hope this makes sense to everybody. I'm sure you'll let me know if not. So that's going to go like that. So that's going to be the front of it. That's going to be the back of it. If you wanted to decorate, if you think it's too plain, you can do. That's something I would think about later on. So that's my flap. So I'm not going to worry about that one, that part of it. On this one, I've put a pocket in the back. So I'm going to do that again here. So I want something to go in here to be a pocket. Now, what I do with my little bits of paper, because I only copy on 80 GSM, when I get pieces like this sort of size and like this, I back with paper, book page, and I find them useful to have handy to use for this kind of project. Would that fit there? Can you see it very well? I quite like that one, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this one. So I tend to sew mine afterwards. So if you're not going to sew, just make sure that you stick it in really well. I'm not going to put it all the way up to the crease because I don't want it to interfere with the crease. Just put the lid on my glue. So that will be the pocket in there. I'm just going to cut that extra bit off. So that's going to be a side pocket in there. And you can have, I've got some cards. I think these are actually going to be too big, but that would fit in there. And it does hang over a little bit, but it's not going to interfere with this crease here. So that's fine. I could put that in there if I wanted to. So that's that one there. This is where your book page is going to sew. So I've got a few pages here, so that's going to go in the middle there. So I want to put pockets on these two. Okay, so that's going to be the fold. So like this one, it's got a pocket there and a double pocket there. This that I use is the backing paper from Bonder Web, the double-sided iron-on stuff that you get. So I always save the pocket. Sorry, I always save the background because it comes in useful. So I'm going to cut that, but I don't want it quite as large as the pocket because I don't want it to interfere again with that crease. So I'm just going to cut that off. And then that will stitch in there. And as I say, I'm going to stitch down these sides so that will get caught in. But I'm going to give it some glue so it doesn't move around whilst I'm doing the rest of it. Just make sure again that I'm not interfering with that crease. There, so that's made a little pocket there. And then I want a double pocket on this side. So I've got some more of that paper there. They look quite nice together, don't they? So again, it's a little bit too big. So where's my crease, my fold line? It must be just short of that one, mustn't it? So I'm going to do it to about there. I'm just going to cut that. And then this one, because it's going to be a double pocket, I want that to be the same kind of size. So I'm just going to cut that the same. So I want that to be a staggered pocket, just there. And so I'm going to glue this one onto that one. I'm not going to glue across the bottom because then that makes it a little bit of a longer pocket. So I'm just going to attach that where I want it to be. And then just glue it in. And then that shouldn't be interfering with those bits again. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just go and stitch these bits so that you can see, you see how it's folding, so it will be like that. I'll go and stitch down these and then I'll be straight back, so just bear with me a moment. Thank you. Okay, so I'm back again. So what I've done is I've stitched down the edges. You might be able to see better there. So I've stitched down the edges and that has closed all the pockets. So then pockets are now sealed. Okay, so again, we've got the 1, 2, 3 folds in there. So that's the front. My glue will be dry, won't it? So now for the book pages, and somewhere I should have a needle. So there's not going to be a lot of weight on this. So what I tend to use is just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Just to, oops, drop my scissors. Threw them out my hand. So I'm sure most of you anyway will know how to do this, but I'll just finish this off so that you can see. So all I've got here is I've put together some different little book pages. I think there's about 7 sheets here. I don't want to make it too big because it's going into the front of a journal. So I don't want it to take up so much room that it won't fit into the pocket. But, you know, if you're making one for yourself, for your handbag or for whatever, you can put as many pages in it as you want to. So I'm just going to clip those in there. Hopefully you can see. So again, that's like the middle fold. So 1, 2, 3. You can put it in that one, you know, there are a lot of choices and options with this. So I'm just going to roughly try not to stab myself. 1, 2, and about there. And then through the middle one. down to the bottom, up to the top, back through the middle. I've got my string either side. Let's put that needle away. Tighten it up. And just snip those off. So they're just the extra pages that I've got in there. So hopefully you can see that in there. It still folds up. It feels nice in the hand. It's not too big. It will fit into a pocket. And then if I'm going to decorate it or put some journaling cards in, I've got some that I've got pre-made. So if we look, the side one there, it is only a narrow pocket. It's, you know, it will probably be smaller than the tag that you're going to put in there. But as long as that tag doesn't meet the fold, it can be a bigger tag that you put in there. It can be a taller one, you know, whatever you want to do. What else have I got? You can see I've backed all these journaling cards of Rachel's. So one in there, and because it's that paper, you can see through it. And then on the other side, we've got the double pockets there. So one, maybe that one, 2 pockets in there. So that then will fold over, over, and that will fold. If you've got an eyelet punch, you can put an eyelet in there, or you can just tie some ribbon around it and keep it closed. So that's that one. This one again, that I finished on the video that stopped. And obviously these have only been roughly glued together, so I'll have that one in there. I might have a flower in that one. And then a couple of tags. No, it's too big to go in there. Might fit in that one. Bit of a tight squeeze, so I don't think I'll force it in. There's that one in there. And a couple of tags. Oh, I love the bird. Actually, the bird might go nicely in there, mightn't he? And then he's peeking. You can see the bird through there. That one in there. And that one in there. So that's how it's made. I hope that makes sense to you. I do apologise that my last video failed, but it is just a piece of A4 paper. I wonder if I can find a piece just to demonstrate it to you. Sorry, disappearing. So piece of A4 paper that's got the design on. Because my paper's flimsy, I would stick 2 pieces back to back together, which is what I've done here. You can see 2 different designs. So they've just been glued together, stuck together. I want mine to be 7 inches tall. So before I start the fold, imagine that I've glued 2 pieces together. Just pretend, plain let's pretend on this one. So 2 pieces of paper glued together. I've cut it to the height that I want it. This is going to be the flap, and I've just folded it over. So that's that bit there. This is going to be the inside flap. So I've just folded it over. This is this one. And I'm going to take it not quite all the way to that line there. Okay, 1, 2, 3. If I'm going to put journal pages in, I put it in there. You could collage this if you didn't want to put 2 pieces together. You could put book pages on, and I'll probably end up doing that. But it's just a case of 3 folds. Cut your snip your envelopes, and then decorate it. Pockets, you know, you could put a long pocket this side, short pockets, corner pockets, top loading pockets. It it's your choice how you do it. So I hope that that is useful. But I am making a few of these ready to go in future journals. But they do, as I say, they do fit nicely. And then this one, as I say, has the flap on the opposite side. So I'll get that one finished as well. I hope it's made sense. If there's anything that you want me to answer, then please do ask. But I hope you give it a go, and I look forward to seeing what you make. Thank you so much for spending 20 minutes of your time with me today. Take care. Bye.